The feud between McPherson and Ramirez was carved into the land itself. McPherson ran cattle. He swore Ramirez's sheep were hoofed locusts that poisoned the range. Ramirez, proud and stubborn, just built his fences higher. Their ranches were tinderboxes of hatred, sharing a dry creek bed and a whole lot of bad blood. They hadn't spoken a civil word in a decade. Then came the smoke, a dark plume on the northern horizon, whipped by a hot, dry wind that tasted like ash. A prairie fire, and it was moving fast. McPherson got his men, soaking blankets, digging a frantic fire break on his eastern border. But the wind, cruel as fate, shifted. The fire turned, roaring straight for the valley, threatening both ranches at once. McPherson watched from a ridge, his face grim. His small crew, they couldn't stop it alone. It was too big, too fast. It would wipe him out. He looked south. It would wipe out Ramirez, too. He saw riders on the next ridge, Ramirez and his sheepherders, also staring at the wall of flames. Helpless, McPherson made a choice, spurred his horse, galloping across the dry creek bed he'd sworn he'd never cross. Rode right up to his bitter rival. Ramirez saw him coming, hand dropping to his gun. "McPherson! No time!" McPherson yelled over the wind, pointing at the inferno. "Your men! My men! We join up! Right here, in the creek bed. We backburn now, or we both lose everything." Ramirez stared at the fire, then at McPherson, saw the desperate, honest truth in his eyes. He gave a sharp nod. "Vamonos!" For 6 hours they didn't stop. Cattlemen and sheepherders side by side fighting a common enemy. Digging, sweating, choking on smoke, lighting their own controlled burn to fight fire with fire. The heat was hellish, searing their faces, the roar of the blaze deafening. As dawn broke, the fire line had stopped. It died at the edge of the blackened, smoking creek bed. Both ranches were scorched, but saved. McPherson and Ramirez stood in the ash, exhausted, covered in soot, barely able to stand. Didn't say much. McPherson just nodded, tired. Ramirez nodded back. A quiet truce, forged in fire and smoke. McPherson turned, mounted his horse, and rode back across the creek bed. The feud wasn't over. Maybe, but something had changed. The line between them didn't seem quite so permanent anymore. Sometimes the only way forward is together. Discover more unlikely alliances in Frontier Minutes. Subscribe for short Western stories.